Hello, and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt, and today I've come to you to let you know I'm going to be leaving to go to Georgia, to Fulton County, to the election audit, and I'm going to be covering it for you guys. I'm going to be leaving on the 27th, and I'll be back home on the 4th. Now, if y'all guys could, please support me by sharing this video. Let people know that I'll be down there, and I'll be sharing videos of what I'm seeing there, talk about what I'm seeing there, and also supporting the patriots that are down there as well. That's very important to support those patriots and support the people that are doing the audit. I will have my first video up probably on the audit on the 28th, which is the day when it starts. So just remember, share this video, hit like too, and if you want to subscribe, if you like the video, please subscribe. But guys, if you could, stay tuned. I also have a story about the audit in Georgia right after this from the Gateway Pundit, so just check it out. Alright guys, you already heard my introduction, so I don't need to introduce myself again, but I'm looking at the Gateway Pundit, and first things first, I will not be able to use certain words out of this article because they'll get me in trouble with YouTube, so just bear with me. Georgia Republicans confront Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his sidekick Gabriel Sterling in December to do their job, but unfortunately, this landed on deaf ears. Now, here's a picture of where Biden got most of his votes. It's all at the same time, which is strange. You know, and the rest of the time, it's pretty even until about that time during the day, and that's when that video I've shown in a couple of my videos where it looked like they were counting votes multiple times at the tables. The United Tea Party of Georgia releases video coverage of a call between Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and his sidekick Gabriel Sterling with the top Republicans in the state. Brad Raffensperger and Sterling appear not to care about the legitimate 2020 selection results. All reasonable requests fell on deaf ears. The United Tea Party of Georgia obtained a video call between the Georgia Secretary of State's office and top Republicans from December last year per an FOIA request. The video was an hour long. The Tea Party group then released the video showing the GOP leaders were determined to have a valid selection performed in Georgia. But Brad Raffensperger and his cronies were not hearing any of it. Republicans in the state of Georgia, while the Secretary of State's office would not do things like check the ballets from the 2020 selection. For proper signature and review incidents potential fund from the State Farm Arena on selection night. Georgia Secretary of State, CFO, and COO Gabriel Sterling shared that they need a specific reason to do it, and they were bogged down with other events and therefore would not do any more related to the 2020 selection. Check out Sterling's comments below. Note, this is after 40 minutes of requests and complaints surrounding the matter in which the 2020 selection was handled and events that mandated review. Alright guys, let's watch the video.
To make any comments?
Mr. Chairman, this is Sean Still. I'd like to add something.
Sure.
Hey, Brad, Gabe, I know you guys are getting hammered with a lot right now. It's been a lot of one-way communication, but literally just asking the question, what is the reluctance in not doing this?
I can answer part of that, and Ryan might comment on that. It's not a reluctance necessarily. Again, like Ryan said in the beginning, we have to have specific things to investigate, a specific allegation. The Chairman Schaefer pointed out the Fulton County board members, we talked about that today, and he said the words they believe this, and I know some of the background of the software, that could lead to a point with investigating. We're investigating the thing in Fulton. And this may be the flying women on this one, but essentially, Stacey Abrams made a lot of things where she didn't have any evidence to investigate. And we don't have, unless we have specific evidence to chase things down, doesn't open the door for that. Everything else we've done has been really defined by statute. The hand audit was in statute. It's defined how it's supposed to be done. We chose to do an RLA. The Secretary chose the presidential race to do that. That was done. The recount we're doing right now was done that same way. Every investigation where we have specific evidence, we're trying to track them down. Like I said, we have hundreds, but we have 23 investigators. On the double voters, which we were the first office to ever open investigations into those in the history of the office, we had to do 1,200 interviews using those 23 investigators right now. We are in the middle of running a December 1st runoff. We have to do this recount. We have to get January 5th done. And again, I see bits and pieces of evidence. We have some specific evidence on a county today that we got, and I don't want to say which one yet because we're still verifying it, that we will likely have to do some investigation specifically on absentee ballots. It's not Fulton, just so you know, it's another county. But just randomly going around getting, and again, we in case we already go this route, we've been discussing what will we do, how will we make it work, but then who pays for it? Because we don't control these ballots. At this point, they've been transferred over to the Superior Court judges, Superior Court clerks. They have to deal with all those things now because the election's been certified. And Ryan, correct me on this, but I think this is how it's supposed to flow. And they're the county's responsibility. Do we just have the counties re-look at those things again, or do we bring in a third party? And if it's the GBI, who's paying for those expertise? How do you decide which ones you're going to look at to do this?
They're trying to fix it like it's just a state. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
My life. Continue, Gabe. I'm listening to Dylan.
But eventually, I mean, it's not as easy as, I know the letter made and the governor's request. It's not this easy thing to go do. And who controls what and who has the property of what? We can ask, we can do an investigation if there's a specific thing we're trying to figure out, there's a specific allegation of forgery. If we have 2 people who we believe are dead that family members have forged a signature on, we're investigating those. So we're doing all those things, but again, flying the ointment, I'm just stating a generalized feeling, and I said this in the press conference, a generalized thing of we don't trust it. The reason, in large part, it's not trusted is because the President of the United States and Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell got on and said you can't trust these things. With very little evidence, they've been thrown out of the court. The Lynn Wood lawsuit specifically said the remedy for what you're asking for is too high, and you don't have standing, and you don't have any evidence. So again, it's not reluctance, and we're definitely listening to you. And David and I have gone back and forth on Twitter, on text for days about this. I would like to find a way to meet this level if you'll want to, but at the same time, if we go in a generalized way and say we don't feel like this was done right, that's the same thing Stacey Abrams said. And I'm not trying to make the comparison so that you kind of see what could happen in 2 years if the precedent is set on that front. And, we were worried about this election. We were worried about January. But we're also worried about the long term. So, again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just the voting system implementation manager. And we're trying to track down, like I said, every we track down.
And it's clear again that Georgia's Raffensperger and Sterling were not going to certify President Trump as the winner in the state, no matter how many votes he won. Well, guys, I don't know what kind of evidence he needed. He had video evidence right there showing that these people were counting these votes 3 to 4 to 5 times. I mean, what else you need? Not only that, you have affidavits from 4 to 6 witnesses telling you, hey, they're in the audits. Look like to me some of the ballets weren't looking right. What more you need? They just didn't want to do their job. They didn't want to be called conspiracy theorists by the mainstream media. They were worried about the mainstream media, and that was it. But guys, that's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Peace.